Mitrom and Bandhuvam, welcome to South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel, which brings you South Asia centric history, culture, geography related topics to you in the form of maps, icons, images. And I also present other related topics, the world history, geography, and especially human ecology. We are continuing part 33. The name of the presentation is COSMETICism. This is a part of human ecology, human predicament, human impasse, a bottleneck century, overshoot of human population, especially from the work of Dr. Catton. His monumental book called Overshoot. Most of the concepts come here, and I put the information based upon my understanding of the events and resources. There are 5 modes of adaptation to post-exuberance. We will discuss that very soon. Real and cargo, cosmetic, cynic, ostrich, isms, realism, cargoism, COSMETICism, cynicism, ostracism. Part 33, we are talking about the third mode of adaptation, COSMETICism. This is the icon, recycling icon, you can remember very easily. Formal definition. COSMETICism is a belief system, a mode of adaptation. Some people have a faith, like the majors, practices such as family planning, restricting the size of the family to 1 or 2 children, recycling centers, anti-pollution laws, that will keep the new world new. That means resource consuming, high technology, high standard of living. That is COSMETICism, the third part of adaptation. So this is briefly excuse me. We are in the post-exuberant world. Post-exuberant world means the Europeans, this is the old world, they discovered the new world round about 1500 AD during the age of voyages, Christopher Columbus and so on. And this is the Eurasia, this is New World, including Australia. So the New World. After the discovery, European colonizers settled there, taking over the land from the forests, virgin soils, and the prairies and pampas lands, replacing the flora and fauna that is taking over, and non-significant human population, local Indians or Amerindians. Later, after steam engine and discovery of the coal and oil, they have drawn down the resources called drawing down. So the 5 centuries of economic progress, prosperity, affluence is years of exuberance, era of exuberance that ended round about 2000 AD. So how can humans adapt to post-exuberant era? Dr. Catton delineates 5 mechanisms. Anybody who talk to your friend, family member, or co-worker, all can be put into these 5 bins. If you understand these 5, you can understand what adaptation he recommends, even though he may not be aware of the term, that is not a matter. Realism, cargoism, cosmetism, cynicism, ostracism. I have represented 5 easy icons for you to remember. This is the old world, this is the new world. There is the voyage, the ships going there, so the discovery era. So that is realism. The next is the cargoism. This is the ship carrying the cargo. Cargoism, realism. Recycling is a type of COSMETICism, you can remember. I have put this emoji, put cynicism. You have to remember. A bird, ostrich, ostracism. So there are 5 modes of adaptation of modern industrial society to the post-exuberant era. We completed realism, we completed cargoism. Excuse me for my allergies. Now we are talking about the COSMETICism. That is part 33 of the series of human ecology, part 3 of adaptation mode. You can always look at that, and we will discuss little more detail about this COSMETICism. Third mode of adaptation to post-exuberant era by the industrial society. Before that, excuse me, this is my main YouTube channel, South Asia Maps J Reddy. If you like the presentations and the content, I request you to please go there and access the resources, and also put the comment so that many people will know about it. There are more than 30 playlists I organized for you. There are nearly 250 meticulously drawn presentations on varied, diverse topics. Hours and hours of work, the decades of work I want to bring to my audience so that you can understand these things very easily and benefit from that, or a sort of intellectual sojourn and enjoyment also, if you consider. These 250 I organized into 30 or so playlists, so that whatever field of interest you are, you can just go to the particular playlist bin in the YouTube channel, access it. Because this is essentially human ecology, I will put it to human ecology playlist. There are already 30 or so. There are other playlists. There's in the province partition and Darshani horses, Arabi horses in politics, de facto ruler, de jure ruler, cis-trans districts if you take a river, this side or that side, cis-trans districts across Sutlej, Howrah and so on. Then the Islam, that's the militant ideology that bothers the native societies very much today, and the Pakistan, the Gujarat and Jammu and Kashmir and India treaties and Deccan region. So there are many central provinces, Bombay Presidency, Hyderabad Nizam and so on. You can go and look at it. This says Dr. Catton's work, monumental work, Overshoot, and sequel book, BottleNEcK. This was published around about 1982. Dr. Willam R. Catton Jr. is a professor emeritus, Washington State University, Pullman, that is the North Pacific, West Pacific region, east of Cascade Mountains, south of 49th parallel that separates Canada from United States, and that is the book. And I have before presented and brought a lot of these. So far, this is the 33. See, 31 is realism, 32 cargoism, 33 is COSMETIcism. I will cover cynicism, ostracism later, and the remaining also I plan to upload to YouTube channel. You can look at them. So already 5, 10 and 15, these are the human ecology presentations. This is my Twitter site, India Maps 2. You can also go there. And carrying capacity, taking over, drawing down, new world, old world, Homo colossus, Homo sapiens, and we discussed about ecological exuberance, emotional exuberance, detritus ecosystem, ecological ecourages, carrying capacity, phantom carrying capacity, niches, ecological niches, economic niches, social niches, political niches, human predicament, low pressure regions like Alaska, Australia and Siberia and so on, Lincoln to Biden, the human population in the United States, years of exuberance, 500 years of affluence, population doubling 10 times from invention of agriculture to 2025. And population, recent 4 doublings of the population, that's most important, from 1 billion to 2 billion, That is 2 billion to 4 billion, 4 billion to 8 billion, 4 doublings from the 500 million of billion. That is the era of navigation discoveries. American dream, Australian dream, how they founded on carrying capacity deficits. Easton Wainwright, humans on the planet Earth are essentially the same, their behavior. So the next ecological, overshoot, bloom and crash, and so on. So all those things you can explore in the playlist. Coming back to our fascinating presentation, part 3 of adaptation, COSMETICism. All these 5 adaptations I have formatted in the 4 parts, and at the end we'll see the differences so that you will get a bird's eye view. Circumstances, consequences, adaptation. What is the and the name of adaptation? That is this is different. Adaptation. Those are the 4 broad parts. What is the circumstance? If you remember this icon, that will be very clear. You see the planet Earth, the world red, and the new world white. 8 billion humans on the planet Earth. Resources are depleted. That is the human predicament. Circumstance is age of exuberance is over. 8 billion humans are present on the planet Earth today. That means these 8 billion people have overshot the carrying capacity, the load, that is the number of the people this habitat can hold. The prodigal resource consuming Homo sapiens has become Homo colossus. He has drawn down the earth savings, mostly minerals, metals, fossils. That is the circumstance. The COSMETICism disregards this. COSMETICism partially accepts the consequence. What is the consequence? Our organization has to change. Our behavior has to change. Organization is the government, they will run the economy, the society, the transportation system, education system, medical system, welfare states, all those things. That is HO, human organization, human behavior. Too many aspirations we equate today. That has to change. It partially accepts that. Essentially, the consequence disregards the limitlessness of the earth. Other words, it accepts the finite limits of the human habitat. Consequence. This entire bucket is partially accepted. So that means this earth is limited. From Singapore via Ecuador to back to Singapore on the equator, 40,000 kilometers. That means there is 132 million land area, million square kilometers, 135 units we can say. Water is around about 350. You can put 135 countries in the planet Earth. You can put 13 Americas on the planet Earth. It's a very limited. So the habitat is limited. So it thinks the COSMETICism is some people have a faith, certain measures, family planning, if you do practice, recycling centers if you do, and bring the anti-pollution laws, the ban the plastics and so on. You see the people carrying the bags in such stores and showing they are like interested, saving the planet everywhere, the green parties and all those things. These are just sufficient to keep the new world in new. New world, when it was discovered by the European colonizers, was very new. Very few people lived there. Plenty of wildlife, plenty of the land mass. So that was a new world at that time. Lot of carrying capacity. If you follow these things, things will be okay. That means that is cosmetism. The change is little cosmetic, you need not worry much. Just instead of going and shopping to the Walmart and taking their plastic bags, you carry a greenly painted bag and you restrict your children to one or two, and every apartment unit next to that you see the various color, 3 or 4 recycling bins will be put, and those type of things. Even they are not aware the paint that is put, these colors itself comes from oil, that is a non-renewable resource, that is not a recyclable resource. That concept is not projected to them. The people think the green buses are not renewable. They are made from oil base, which is a one-time resource. So this is essentially cosmetism. Belief that superficial adjustments and changes in mildly our activities will keep the new world new. That means it can perpetuate our era of age of exuberance from 1500 to 2000. We can just carry on. That is the essential nature of cosmetism. So in a sense, we look at the third mode of adaptation, cosmetism, today. This is your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy, South Asia Maps. Mitram and Bandhuvam, if you like the presentations, I really appreciate if you consider posting certain comments going to the YouTube channel, that is the main site where I upload all my resources, presentations for your benefit, and bring it to the notice of your friends. I will see you in other presentation, that is the next presentation 34, that will be the cynicism. This is Dr. J. Reddy at South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel. See you later.